Just another update on the Firebird here, Cadillac 500. Swapped in. We have our upper shock, adjustable shock mounts are welded in. I've kind of got that kind of loose in there. These bolts are tight, of course. I've got to get a dog bone or T-bolt set up for that. I guess I did not even think about that. Always something. Spacers are on the way now. I sent back the 1/2-inch ones for the 1-inch ones. And that kind of, unfortunately, just the way it is. Another week on that. It's pretty well into place and done now. We got a little, our clearances are tight. Like I said before, but I kind of show it. Y'all need to. I might need to mess with those lines a little more. Maybe we'll see. See when I get them underneath there. But once those T-bolts come in, I'll finish out the front end. I did work on the back some. Got the comp system from Pro Touring, the jack and everything. I have the exhaust held up right now, kind of fooling with it a little bit. This is a pipes kit. Really regretting even buying it. Would have been better off just not even to bought it. A shop could have just bent it up and it would have been perfect. Yeah, so if you have a car that has the engine that's supposed to have and the transmission and all that, yeah, that's probably a pretty good kit for you. But if you're cobbling together like I am, this is a horrible kit. But yeah, we can get up underneath there and take a look. Yeah, the rear end is not painted or nothing. I did not take that sort of time. This is all loose right now because it needs to come down on the ground. Well, not loose, but snug right now. And then it'll come down on the ground. I'll tighten up a little bit more, and then once I drive it, then I'll tighten up the rest of the way. Otherwise, these hangers, the bolts in the hangers will actually hold the car up, and then it won't lower the way it's supposed to. This does have 1-inch lowering blocks. Kind of see it right there. There we go, it focused. And then a delete for the upper mount, the rubber piece. That just flips in there and holds everything nice and into place. The lower I do still have rubber in, so it still has a nice leather. I still got to finish out, like I said, tightening stuff, but I don't know if that's going to stay on number 2 or move to number 1 or number 3 on that sway bar adjustability, but I'll get there. I also, for some reason, I guess I misordered on that exhaust anyways, because I thought it was going to be muffler in the original place, which is right there, but no. So I don't know, may not even use it. That's kind of where we're at on that. Not, like I said, not a whole lot this week. Was hoping to get a lot further. Maybe I still will. Never know. I just love these, having all that adjustability there, the change ride height. And you can really see that Sanderson CAD 700A. Great clearance, just great clearance. Now with that, it's not easy to get in and out. It's kind of one of those things where you're better off either pulling that control arm or pulling the engine. I had this, you kind of saw last week, I had this part today when I put the upper control arm in. Now I tried to put the header in, and no, I couldn't get the bolts in. It was not working very well for me. Big ones were kind of, Alan had cap heads at first. I really should just get header locker bolts. I would be so much happier, I bet, with the possibility of leaks, but they may not fit on this side. It's really close. You can really see how close those bolts are. And these are the ones that came with the Sanderson, so they're meant for it. But I might be able to get it out now. This one would be a fight. You kind of have to come in from down here with your wrench, really. It's actually, not, friendly for a ratchet on any of these. But yeah, you can really see how close those bolts are. And these are the ones that came with the Sanderson, so they're meant for it. But I might be able to get it out now. This one would be a fight. You kind of have to come in from down here with your wrench, really. It's actually not friendly for a ratchet on any of these. Just kind of, you know, the other reason why I'm almost thinking locking would have been a better bet. But regardless, it's in, and then just pulled the control arm up, put everything back in. I did just put it back to original adjustment for now. Alignment shop will take care of that as needed. I know they're ugly. I'm not going to wire them. It's not important. No one's going to look at this car like that. It's not one of those sort of cars. I mean, I know it looks really nice and everything, but I'm not that guy. I'm not the show car guy. I just want something nice for myself and enjoy when I go and get ice cream. I did get the flexible transmission, just like I was saying last week. Not gonna fool with one's gonna mess with me. It's probably gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna have any wires going. That's why I left all this alone. But when I decide on that, what's going in, what's not, then I'll plug it. And I think I'm gonna build a little bracket coming off, and either ground wire. I need to put a different one on here anyways, clean all that up, make it look nice. But maybe articulate it like that, you know, away. Of course, the bracket would bring it out just to make it easier to service. Maybe I'll even put the bracket, you know, on a little bit of a degree so it pulls away, kind of out like that, just slightly, not much. Just don't want it to come up and be hitting that lip of the cowl like it is right now. But that's, like I said, that was small potatoes on that. Not much else. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that be worth talking about. But if, like I said in the last video, or any video I do, if you have any questions at all, I'm willing to talk about the build. I'm really happy with it. So it's kind of fun to talk about it too, instead of just be out here by myself and working on it. I am going to say drum brakes for right now, just for right now. I have some 4th gen brakes, but just, I don't have the extra money at the moment. It's got to wait. This was a lot to do in a short amount of time, but at that point, you know, it gets the PV4 valve. That's really easy if you ever do a disc brake kit. PV2 for front disc, rear drum, PV4 for all 4 discs, and then you just put your rear disc brakes on, and then you got to figure out how you're going to do your parking brake, depending on what style of caliper you used or what kit you bought. I mean, I'll show you what I was talking about on that exhaust and why it's just not going to happen. You know, that's the X right there in the middle of that cross member. Not happening. I mean, it might not be terrible for the ground clearance. I mean, the subframe connectors got to go in. I don't have this all mount yet. I thought they were on the way. I guess there was miscommunication between us, where I had said I was checking, and then I had said, oh, I checked, I didn't find them, and then that message didn't get seen. I should have just made a phone call. Would have been a lot faster, but that's on me. But yeah, this will probably get cut and brought back further, and then that means that those pipes will be lengthened. But all that was going to have to happen on these connecting pipes here, because there is nothing in a kit that's going to work with my engine setup. I can kind of get you. I guess you really can't see it very well. Yeah, there you go. Now you can really see it. You know, so up to there. Actually, kind of regretting not just doing a V-band on those. We'll see. Maybe I'll end up that way. I change stuff all the time. Right. Now you see what I meant, though. Why I was kind of complaining. Nothing wrong with pipes as a brand. Just, you know, use that stuff correctly, and you don't run into the headache I ran into. But it's on me. I did get the pieces for the neutral safety. I'm gonna cut that bar. I think. Well, I might just bend it actually. Bend it and I'll tie it back. I don't want to get rid of it just in case something ever happens and it goes back to the original. All they'll have to do is cut those plates out, and then they can put 400 in or whatever Pontiac mess they want. Yeah, front clip as you've seen before. Breeze over that. But this is the ShiftWorks kit I was talking about. You know, you could buy it with the switch. It's like, I don't know, $50 more or something. Or you just take the switch off your column. I just opted to take the switch off my column. No reason to spend the extra money when I have a good switch. Still got that derail to mess with. I've got this mat to cut up for this. I'll probably do that next weekend. And then the granddaddy, I did get the wheels. So you've probably seen these a million times on other people's cars. And we'll move this out of the way. Oh. Yeah, they package them. They were even better than this when they were packaged. I've been fooling with them. They have a little deal. Here, let me zoom out. There we go. And there we go. Yeah, looking good. Here's some pretty wheels. So I guess I could show them off a little bit more than that. They are a 9-inch wide. It's not amazing. I know there's a lot of wheels out there, but for off the shelf, ready to order stuff, I mean, this is great. You put your original cap in there. It works out great. And they are powder coated or painted. It's probably painted probably, but you never know. Just slide that back on there. So yeah, we'll just let that be. I'll do that when I have both my hands free. And then found these on Amazon. There's a lot of distribution blocks out there and stuff, but these looked like they were fairly nice for, less than, I was like 15, 20 bucks. Just kind of thinking somewhere along the lines of like that. I don't want them too deep because otherwise I can't get to them. And I mean, what's the point of having power easily available if you can't get to it? So yeah, probably like right there. And then the ground will be right underneath it in the same sort of way. So, yeah, like that. So and I'll run the power right up the side, like that. Fuel, I think, will come up on the opposite side. I may all run together. I don't know. Maybe the channel can take actually quite a bit. There's a lot of room. I still got to change out cotter pins. There's a circular style I want to run. I think they're called an E. Yeah. I did call Holly and talk to them a little bit because I was looking for an idea that they might be able to provide to hook this kick down switch up, because I don't have a bracket for it. So I was like, oh, well, I mean, the people who make carburetors should have a kit for it. And they're like, call Low Car. And I look at the Low Car stuff and it's like $160 or something like that. And it's got a whole independent set. It's like, well, okay, so then that would be useless. So why did I even buy that? Why'd you sell me that when I bought the Sniper? So, hey, kind of, no real thought used on that, I guess. I don't know. Then again, you got people just selling you stuff and you're not thinking it through. I should have been like, hey, how is that going to hook up there? Is there a bracket with that kit? But, and then I think the wiring is going to flip. I have it laid this way, but I think it's going to go over there, and I'll put a fuse block over there, like one of those Norman blocks that we see all the time for like LS swaps. I'll probably just do one of those and just put it, just something clean, nothing crazy, something clean up here, just power, and then one ignition wire coming from that side, probably inside the car and out to it. That way it's just a quick boom, done. Yeah, so I guess that could be, that block could go anywhere in there and I could get to it. And yeah, I could probably go ahead and start routing some of this stuff. But now that this is in, I mean, there's no reason I can't take the inner fenders out of that, move it over, put it on here, and then start kind of working around it, and then put an inner fender in, and then take the nose, just the nose off. That way I can mess with it. It is dented right there. I need to work on that. Pull that out, make it look at least halfway decent. That's one thing. The car isn't rusty. It's not all real crusty or nothing. No holes in it or nothing crazy. That's one thing. Even when all that rear stuff, it came right out. But yeah, it's got a lot of dents and dings in it, unfortunately, over its years of use. Yeah, that's the nice Vikings there. It'd be nice to put them in, you know, drop that sway bar link and just right in there, but no dog bone or T-bolt, as they say. And I still have, I need to order that, but actually I think it's sitting right on in my Amazon cart right now. And I just kind of being lazy, pick up some of this trash. Mess everywhere. But that's it. You know, let me know if you have any questions in the comments. You know, if you like the build, you know, you can subscribe to the channel or like whatever. I'm not, you know, one of those influencer people. It's just a guy in a car, just having fun, and that's about it. Have a good one. Thank you.